Hello everybody. Hello friends. Welcome to Thrifty Thursday. Hope you guys are having an awesome Thursday. If you are new here, my name is April and you are in my craft room. Welcome. Got a couple of thrifted items that I'm going to put together and make a centerpiece. So the main focus this week is this cool faux flower pot with some fake flowers in it. I got it from the thrift store for 25 cents. So that's always good. And it is cute, but it's definitely like fall colors. So we're going to change it up for spring, Easter. So first things first, I need to see if I can pull, I can, at least some of these out. Do I want to save these? I don't know. They're going to be a mess. I'm going to get a piece of cardboard and set it over here on the floor and just pile them up there for now. All right, let me see if I can get the rest of these just out of here. So far, so good. I was thinking I was going to have to use my wire cutters and cut them, but actually they're just pulling up pretty nicely. All right, so there's that. A little bit of styrofoam fuzzy, but that's okay. It's okay. And then this little fabric bow. Okay, so goodbye fall. Hello spring. All right, let's knock those fuzzies off into my trash can down here. All right, and now you can see the pot a little better. It's really pretty, right? It's like a brown and then it's got like gold accents. I initially thought about painting it. Either this off-white chalk paste called Ivory. But the more I was looking at it, the more I really kind of like the way that these carrots contrast with this brown. So I think I'm going to save myself and you guys some time and not paint it at all. I'm going to kind of push this down a little bit though. Okay, so honestly, we don't really need to do much anything with that for now. Okay, our next thrifted fun item I found is this bunch of, and I actually got 3 of these bunches, but I don't think I'm going to need all 3. I brought 2 of them over here to the table, and I may not end up actually even needing all of these 2 bunches. But each bunch was $1, which I thought was a pretty good deal, because if you buy these things at the craft store, they're usually pretty expensive. But they're really nice. So I'm going to just kind of clean them up and see about where I want them as far as, and then I'm just going to take the old trusty snips and start snipping. All right, what I really like about these is that they're wired, so we can get them to kind of go any direction that we want. So once we get them in, we can kind of move them around. Okay, so let's just kind of start poking them in here for now. And then we can fill in any gaps. And then I'm going to fill in the base with a little bit of some thrifted, remember the moss that I got, the lady gave me at the thrift shop to use for our Thrifty Thursday crafts. I'm going to use a little bit of that, and then I've got some green moss that I might use as well. And then I'm thinking, you know what? Hold please. Let's stop. Because it's going to be way easier to do this without those in it. Okay, so I got these. These aren't really thrifted, but they're very inexpensive. I got these faux carrots that I guess you could make yourself or do something, you know, with like the air dried clay or something like that. But I got this 6-pack of these cord like jute styled carrots. Can you guys see? They're like the jute kind of wrapped around. I got these at the Dollar Tree, I believe. So they were probably like $1.25. Not 100% necessary, but it's going to make the project look really cute. So I already got my hot glue gun warmed up, and I'm going to put them, if you were putting it on a mantle, you could line them up in front, but being that I'm going to use this as a centerpiece of my dining room table, there's going to be people on all sides of it, so I'm going to just kind of space them out the best I can. Anyway, so let me grab, I want to use this towel here, so I can put this on here without it rolling around too much. And there's actually kind of like what looks sort of like a seam. So I'm going to use that as my starting point. And I'm just going to space them around and glue them to the sides. Let me see. Do these spread apart? The tops? Kinda. Kinda, sorta. But anyway, I think they're going to need to be pretty close to the bottom. Okay, so let's find the pretty side. And let's just start gluing them. Okay, hold on. Where's our pretty side? Right here. Right? Yeah. Okay, so we need our glue on the back. So we're just going to run a bead of our hot glue on the back. Could use super glue, I guess, if you wanted, or a different type of glue, but I'm going to use this, or this hot glue. I think it's going to work. And then, what's fun about the hot glue is when Easter is over, or spring is over, I can take a heat tool and heat that glue up and be able to pop them back off so I could theoretically use this container again. Okay, there's that. And I actually want to do, this isn't gonna work. I mean, it did for the first one, but I'm not gonna lay it back down. Okay, so I'm gonna attempt to get them lined up. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but we're shooting for almost perfect. Ooh, there's actually a seam on this side too, so let's just keep going. Let's get all 6 of these on here, and then we can decorate it. Okay, so we're just taking our glue and placing our carrots on here, just to add a little bit of extra pizzazz to our pot. I think they're gonna look really cute. They're not exactly even. Not exactly even. Let's see if I can pull that one down a little bit. That looks like it's got ears. How funny is that? But anyway, we've got them on there, right? Cool. Okay, and now I need 2 on this side and 2 on that side. So let's just kind of see. Let's go like that. Okay, pretty side of the carrot. All of these carrots are actually pretty good. Sometimes when you get things like this from the Dollar Tree, they might have a side that didn't quite get fully covered. But these actually look really good. Okay, stay. And then this one will go like this one. See, I was just talking about how these look really good, and then I got one that looks a little funky. But if that's the case, you can just kind of push the twine down. It's fine until it looks good. There's a black speck on that, so that is going to be on the back. And we can just kind of press this jute and even it out. Because I'm guessing there's styrofoam inside of it. That's what they feel like. They feel like styrofoam. All right. 4 down. 2 to go. You could take the time to measure them and, you know, make little dots on here to make them like perfectly even, but honestly, I think it's cool. That one is like, they're all over the place. Hang on, this one's way too high. Let's see if we can get, yeah, that off of there. And let's try that again, because we had this one way, way too not even whatsoever. Let's see if we can do a better job with that. There. Much better. Like I said, you could draw guidelines on here if you want. I'm not terribly worried about it, but for whatever reason, that one was really off. Okay, but now we're working our way around with our carrots. 2 more to go. 2 more to go. All right, here's this. So anyway, guys, what are you guys up to? What are you all up to today on this beautiful Thursday? It's a little chilly, but sun's out. I'll take it. I don't have a whole lot going on for the rest of the day, other than I am going to make, whoa, that rolled right on over to my table. That's okay. What I love about this mat is that everything cleans off like perfectly. Let's get that on there before that glue starts to dry. We can clean up our table here in a bit. Okay, that's good. Let's just clean up our glue. And I think we should be done with this. So let's just scoot this over here so I don't actually bump into it and burn myself. Unplug it a little bit, just in case I need to move them around. But anyway, here is our pot so far. I know it looks kind of, you guys are probably like, what in the world is this girl doing? It's going to look cute when we're done though, I promise. Okay, now back to adding our found egg picks. Okay, so let's just keep snipping away and getting it all filled in. Make sure we throw all of these wire bits into the trash can so we don't accidentally step on one. All right. And like I said, these are really nice because you can kind of bend them to where you want them to be. All right, let's just keep filling it in. I like how this one is like straight up and down. Snip, snip. I absolutely love these wire cutters. If you guys do a lot of crafting with these picks, these are very, very useful to have. I actually got them for Christmas because I had been borrowing the ones from our garage, my husband's, and I decided, you know what, it's time. I need my own. As much crafting as I do, I need my own. So they got me my own fancy little set for Christmas this year. Very thoughtful. Very nice. Okay, there's that. I need to kind of mix up my colors here a little bit. Should have been paying a little better attention to that when I was stacking them, but it's going to be okay because we're still going to add more. All right, spread these out a little bit. Get this one kind of in here. Do like a sideways with this one and just arrange them how you like. No right or wrong way to do this. However you like. Got to use a little muscle there, don't we? Need to use a little bit more muscle. Okay. Kind of liking how this is starting to fill in. We may actually only end up needing the one. I'm liking how this is filling in a lot. We're just going to kind of bend and twist, and I want you to be able to see everything. All right, cool. Cool. All right, it's coming together. This guy could stand up. It looks like he's kind of falling. But, like I said, they're wired, so you can get them to go whichever way you want. And I might actually come in and trim off some of these that are just kind of stragglers on top. Kind of snip that away. Okay, it's coming together though. I'm loving this. And I really think I want to add, you guys remember, gosh, when was that? Last week, maybe? Week and a half ago or so? When we made our bunny stuffy? I think I'm going to stick him in here too. I think this is going to be a perfect place for him. It is. Okay, but before I do that, I want to fill this in with that moss. So, like I said, I got a little bit of this brown moss from the thrift store, and I got this huge thing of the green Spanish moss from That might have come from like Walmart or someplace like that, but I've had it forever because I just keep reusing it. Whenever I take my centerpieces or whatever apart, I just keep reusing the moss. Okay, but let's see if we can't get this to separate without making a huge mess. And we're just gonna shove it in here, just like we did when we were making our birdhouses, our bird nests, right? Trying to decide if I should, you know what, I think I am. Just to secure it so it doesn't go crazy, let's just put a bunch of glue down in between our spokes, or whatever, our picks, I guess they're called. Floral picks. That way, some of the moss at least will stay where it's supposed to be. Some of it's still gonna go rogue, and that's just a-okay with me, but let's at least see if we can't get some of it to not stick to my finger, but to just kind of stick there. All right, that actually filled in really nicely. Let's turn her around. Kind of scoop some of these around here so I can get in, and then we can rearrange them easily enough when we're done. Well, let's just kind of fill this in with a little bit of glue here. Actually, that's a lot of glue, but whatever. More glue there. That's probably enough with the glue. Okay, and then we'll use this bunch of moss that I got from my friend at the thrift shop. Actually has like little bits of green in it, so I may not end up needing that other stuff. We're just gonna keep shoving it in here, filling it in so you can't see that foam. That floral foam, though, was actually brown. I wonder if the person who originally made this painted it brown, because I have never seen brown floral foam. It probably exists. I just always see the green stuff. But it wouldn't surprise me if it exists. Okay. Oh, we got moss stuck to our carrots. But that's okay. All right, just a couple more little spots to fill in. And this little upcycle is going to be complete and super cute. Festive and cute. All right. And unique. I can promise you no one else is going to have this centerpiece. So if you're having a big Easter family gathering, your friends and family are going to love it because they will have never seen it before. Which is one of the big reasons that I love to craft in general. I get to make my own home decor and, you know, gift ideas and that kind of stuff. But it also is one of the reasons that I really like to thrift, because you can find some very just like unique things and make them your own. Let's see if we've got any more glue in here. I need just a tad bit more. All right, perfect. And that'll do. Fill in this little space with our moss. Super cute. You guys do much decorating for spring, Easter, that kind of stuff? Or no? I like to decorate for most of the holidays. Most all of them, in some shape, way, or form. I don't necessarily do a centerpiece for all of them, but I have a really nice mantle in my living room that I always try to decorate for the seasons, and I have an entryway that I like to decorate for the seasons. Just makes me happy. Come home to see like some cute stuff. Okay, I think it is safe to say that we are done with this bag of moss. So let's just go ahead and throw that in the trash can. Pick up some of this. I need to find, I have one of those like tabletop little mini vacuums. I need to find out or figure out where I put it, because that would be perfect for this. Okay, let's shove, this one is like kind of loosey-goosey, so let's see if we can't get you to not be so crazy. Not be so wild. Okay, those itches. All right, I really think that's pretty good as far as our floral goes. Yeah, I like it. And then our last finishing touch is this, but I think I'm going to cut this stem down a little bit. Whoa. Did you see that? That dowel rod went flying. And let's shove him and all his stuffy glory down. Oh my gosh. I love it. Oh, this is too cute, y'all. All right, we decided we did not need the green moss, so let's get this out of the way so it's not a distraction for us. Get our snips moved. A little bit more rug moss, but that's going to be okay. And check it out. I think that turned out so cute. Do I have something I can hold up behind it so you guys can really get the full effect? Let's see, do we have a white? Yeah. Maybe if I can hold everything here. All right, here. Let's hold this like this. Let's hold this like this. You guys can see a little better. Look at all those beautiful Easter colors. Too cute. And I only ended up using one bunch of the picks, so $1. And our vase was 25 cents. Our carrots I got from the dollar store for $1.25, so we're at $2.50. And then our bunny was part of our club kit, so we got that just anyway, right? Very inexpensive, but super unique and super cute. A really awesome way. And the carrots go all the way around. I think it's just absolutely adorable. All right, let me know what you guys think. Pretty fun for a Thrifted Thursday. I'm loving it. Let me just get it over here. I am loving it. All right, well, that is that. Nice, quick, easy, and inexpensive way to make a centerpiece for your Easter or spring table. Again, you can put it anywhere you want. It wouldn't have to be on your dining room table, but I believe that's where this one's going in my house. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. I hope you do something fun. And as always, I appreciate you watching. Love each and every one of you. And I will be back tomorrow. We're going to work, I think we're going to work on this month's club kit, those peanuts. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to come up with some, couple, at least two, I think, things to do tomorrow. All right, so stay tuned. Have a great night, guys. We'll see you then. Bye.